Alrighty then, welcome back everybody. So, as you can see, the microphone is different than beforehand. It turns out my mic and my microphone connections on this old PC is dead. I came to the realization that yesterday, fucking after 2 hour stream, it turned out to be dead. So great, lovely, amazing. I swear it's one of those things that absolutely I hate happening, but then again, it turns out to be good. So now, in like 2 weeks, I will have myself a new PC and then it should be all fine, which means that I will be able to stream a little bit more better as well, and the quality will probably be also a lot more better than beforehand. But the main thing is that then the microphone will be fixed because then I have a new connection point, and new microphone connection points means that I can use my mic again instead of using the standard one, so the one that actually sits there. Like, yeah, it's annoying when it happens. But yeah. So going back to where we left off yesterday, actually, well, I'm done with what I did yesterday, so. But this week, I'm absolutely happy that I'm able to do what I wanted to do this week, which is actually drawing 2 more drawings. And I'm thinking today I will not do that, but then again, I could do it, but I think I will actually not do that because, well, it is better to have, a day off for that. Also, next week I will be able to hit the gym again because then the gym is open again, so that's great. So, oh, what that, man, there you go. Now I need to go here, there, and what I want to do actually is getting myself towards crit again, probably. Do some bits of, I'll work on some old work and then see if I can get that done properly. Probably not, but it's always fun to do these things. So let me just get it done, starting it up. Bloody fucking hell. It always takes forever. Mainly because of all this thing is not the best cause of it. It's a very trash-ass PC now. Back in the day it was actually quite, well done, but now it's actually an old one. An old butter. I think the newest PCs it not even can handle, the newest games it cannot even handle properly without crashing or overheating, which kind of sucks. So what I'm gonna be doing now is actually just picking up the old one. So actually we can actually see if it actually turns out pretty well. So if I open this one, probably, right? Yeah, if I open this one and then I open then the other ones too. So if I now go here and then press this one, we can actually see that the drawings that I did. So if we just pick up these things, we can actually see that I did do some fun words on it. So we have this one and then this one and that one. You can see that, yeah, the style is now in the style I wanted to use for the visual novel, so that is actually quite funny to do. And I'm happy that with the result of it. Although it took more than an hour of work, it did get me to where I wanted to be. Especially with this one, the main problem with this one was that the hair was a little bit too dark for my liking, which was bad. And yeah, I fixed that. I also fixed the torso building of it. So yeah. So where I want to do now is just casually open this bit and then just grab an old fucking drawing and then hopefully get to where I want to be with this. So if you take a look at the new map, is it in the new map? It is in the new map, isn't it? It's probably in the new map. Just grab the new map. So if I open this one, for instance, oh, it is going to be a crashy one, isn't it? Yeah, it's a long one. It's a long open one. So with this drawing, for instance, I realized that when I drew, well, the way of how I normally drew it, it had some issues. One of the main issues was that it was a very detailed version of work, as you can see, but it took always way too long to get it done. And that's why I wanted to improve upon it. And that's why I actually went for a newer style to create. And that went actually mainly with the amount of work I did on perfecting the idea of it all. So that's actually how I went with it. And that was actually quite a fun result at the end. Especially if you look at, for instance, this, you can see the old style still being represented inside of the drawing, which, if I just do this, then it should be fine. And I forgot to put the live chat on. Oh, God. Yeah, that fucking whole microphone thing, it got me big time off guard, when you realize it is a little bit too much. Well, if you're having fun with a drawing and then you realize only 2 hours in that it didn't help, that it didn't work, it's a great surprise, not gonna lie. So allow me to just switch the mic towards me so that at least we have a good airflow on voice or tone void. With the old drawings, you can see that there are still some things missing in the style. It is almost to where I wanted to be, but it was not perfect. It had some issues. It had some quality issues that were still represented in the drawing itself, were still represented inside of the drawings. And I think this year, when I'm looking at the drawings this year, it looked a lot more cleaner. It looks a lot more better than before. Because if you look at this, for instance, compared to this one, you can see that it's a lot more nicer and a lot more cleaner drawn in, which is a good time. And I think the only thing that I lost from this, of course, is that, well, I didn't lose the art style actually, but what I lost of it was that you could not draw that much detail. Well, you can still draw much detail in, but you cannot draw that realistic kind of thing to it because it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't have the right mood to it. Because if you look, for instance, on the off-topic one, it's not here. Where is it? Ah, there it is. So if you look at the non-topic one, for instance, you can see that this one, it still had the detail work of the old drawings, but it had much more of a cleaner effect to it. A much more nicer effect and a lot more thicker effect, but then again, it does create a nice looking idea of it all. So that's where I left off and where I wanted to be trying to explain when I was drawing this, that I needed a better background for it, because if I would have used a darker background, it would not have worked. If I would have created if I would have created the colors wrong, it didn't work properly. And I think that such things are, well, a problem. When you look at it from one side to another side, you can see that there are some issues here and there. So if I now would, pick up a new thing, for instance, if I would create now a new thing on this side, I think I can. Yeah, I can. Wow, this thing is fucking terribly. Yeah, I have not cleaned this up quite a while. But if I would have created a drawing, and you have the drawing itself, you create these sketch kind of feelings toward it when you draw. But if you create something, yeah, piggy, fucking piggy, there you go. So if you create, you can see that this because of how the size is, it's not very clean. As you can see, it is a very bit kind of feeling towards it, right? Because of how much size is used. But if you would now pick up like, a nice little A4, I'll take that one. You can also see that the size of the drawing itself will be a lot more bigger. So already 7.5, but if I now draw on it, you can see that this is a very sharp look to it. The main problem of this, of course, is that it takes a lot of work. So I need to go around 20, I believe, to even get the same length of where I want to be with this. So if I get that length, well, the line thickness needs to be there. So I know that if I want to create the same art style that I used before, I need to make sure that it's not going to be A4. It's not going to be A4. It's not going to be fully, 700 pixels or whatever. It needs to be this kind of, very pixelated effect. But then you can also see that if you draw on this with the pixels that you have, so you can see that it does create a sharp image. It's just not a very sharp image when you zoom in, which quite handy dandy when you are loading things in, and especially when you especially when I have like things like this quite easily. Let me just load it up so I can show you what I mean. So if I pick up this one and then pick up this one, chapter 1, and I will pick this one, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Come on, yeah, there we go. So if I pick this one up, for instance, we can use the background. So we can use this bit, this one. We can use this bit always at this size. So if we ever wanted to use it, we can always use this one as a base concept, which is nice because you have the asset already there that has already been created many times over, so you can reuse it. And then if you want to go, for instance, and you want to create a new image, you can always make, you can always pick this one back up and then reuse it. So that's the nice part about being digital. You can just, do whatever you want with this. We already know that we have this face. We already know that we have this. And then instead of, having that face kind of feeling, the very thing, you can go like this. Come on. So then you can actually go for this instead. So you can actually go for this one. So if you want to go for that, you need to make sure that if you want to go for that, that means that if I want to go for that, I need to go for 5 again because of the line thickness. So I'm just giving you a heads up on this idea. So if you want to go for that, you need to go like this, and you need to go here. And then you can see that this is already, and then you have already this. So that is how to do it. You can go for that, and you can go for that. And this is always the nice part about it, because you can always redraw over it to keep the size and the proportions on it. And then of course, make sure that you have the thing. The main thing here is always that I always know that this bit is the main size. So you go this way. So this way, then go down, 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 and down up. So because of this, there's the thing that I need. So if we take this, for instance, and then go for, like, you want to create an expression or whatever you want to create, you can always, you reuse it always, which is nice. And honestly, the fun fact is technically because I created already the proportions and the size a little bit here and there. You don't have the exact perfect face. Don't get me wrong, you don't have the exact perfect face, but you do have almost the right one. So by this, you know that this is actually here to go and then go up. So that's the one that I need. So by this, you have the face here. Then of course you can go for this, you can go for that, you can go even if you want, like, you can go even like that. Oh god. And then you can go for this. And then of course, make it as good as possible. The fun fact is, technically, I'm not great at drawing, faces and all that stuff, so that's why I'm always like reusing it again. But if you want to look at it, for instance, you can take the drawing from the video. Well, I think that's the one. Yeah, the yellow one. Please don't crash. All right, don't crash. So this was the test version that you create with a randomizer. Then I redraw it, like how I drew it, and then you have this cursed version, and then I remodel it again to create the right version for it. And this was actually the thing that I went for. Therefore, you have the face. So if you want to go for that, you can still use this idea of it all, and then you can remodel it. You can redo and you can reuse the aspects that you have gained from it to create the idea that you want it to be in the first place. The best thing about it is always that you can just draw over it, redraw it again until you have the right proportions for it. And that is always the fun fact. And the best part about it. So right now we have like this, for instance, and I want to create, the can I go for like this is so silly. This is so silly. So I know that this bit, for instance, here, you can see that this bit is the, for instance, where I want to be the things happening. So I know that this is going to be where the most problems are going to be lying. So I'm going to be picking up this bit. Now we're going to be just using this. So line 1, line 2, line 3. There you go. And then we're going to go here. So now we're going to go here, make that one up, and that one up. Now we actually have, a face to work with. So now we have that. Now, of course, we need also the bottom side. So, well, we can actually always use that. And then we're going to go here, here, and here. And now we have the face that we want. So we have here the body. So body is here with, the do. So there you go. Now we have the body fully workable. Now, if we want to go for the body, we know also that we need to make sure that if you have, the eyes, you always need to make sure that you have this bit here as one bit. Then here's the eye as well. Then here's the eye as well. So you have those two. Then you have here, you have the ear. The ear goes down till the nose. So here it is. So it starts here and ends technically over here. So technically you can go for here for the eye. Yeah, close. Technically it's a little bit lower. Technically it's around here. So you technically can get the ear right here and then it should be fine. You can always make the ear a little bit more jagged, but everything is the same on that side. So with that said, I can now actually create something. So if we wanted to recreate, for instance, the wizard, I'll take that one. And it's actually quite a fun one to go for. So we have the wizard here. It's an old drawing. It's 2 years old, I think. Most likely. So with that said, we wanted to recreate the wizard, as you can see. We can always say that, all right, how do we do this? Well, we know that the nose here is hooked. So we have the nose here that's hooked. And then we have as well a mustache. Well, we have then of course the striped leg. There you go. And then of course we're gonna go for the mouthpiece, which is this bit and that bit. Easy. So now we have that. Now we need to make sure that it is an old man. So we're gonna go here with a beard. And now the hardest part comes around. So if you want to go for that, now we have a mouthpiece and the nose for it. So I think this is the better version for it. I don't know for sure though, because this is a very difficult thing to do. The main issue that I have here with it is that I need to redraw a beard in the style that I have. You know, I can draw the beard quite easily. It's not that big of a deal, but you know that the beard is technically like, there you go, now you have the beard. And then if you draw the beard, you need to make sure that, you know, the whole damn thing works. So let's see. So if you go for that, you go for this, that, and maybe even like this. Now with that said, I should be able to get to where I want to be with this. It's probably not going to be the greatest idea of it, but you know, you have already the chin, you know that. So now we need to create that nice looking equipment, you know, the rope, so to speak. So if we have the rope, it should be like, oh god, 1, 2, and 3 down the road. There you go. So 1, 2, 3 down the road it goes. With that said, then we're gonna go here with that side, and this side of course has the same idea. So 1, 2, 3 down the road, and then we have the rope. So with that, we now have actually, you know, a nice looking effect that we can use. And then of course, you know, we can technically make it upwards or downwards if we want to. Now we need to make sure that we have this. So technically these ones are going to go like that. So let's see if I can get this right. It will probably not look the same nor look the best, but it's a design idea of what you want to do anyway. So now we have that. Now we can actually go for the eyes and all that stuff. So let's try that. So I want to go for those eyes. You know, I want to go for those goldy looking eyes. So, you know, this one and then this one. So I can go for this. Or, you know, I can also go for the idea that I had beforehand, which is actually always using the, let's go here, then go here, and then go here. So what I also could do is aim for these eyes. So aim for these eyes. So I want to go for big eyes on like that side. So I know I want to go for that one. So I want to go for this one. And then of course, gonna go for, let's see, what is the wizards? Yeah, the wizard is like that. There you go. And now we're gonna go for the thick eyebrow as well. There you go. And then of course we're gonna be aiming for the next one, which is then of course here. So we're gonna go here and make that happen as well. So now we actually have, the idea of it. And this one needs to be moved. So we're going to be moving that bit downwards like here. And then we're going to deselect it, for instance. And then we have this one. So with that said, we now have actually, the main idea. And now we're going to add in the eyes. So let's add in the eyes. There you go. Now we have eyes that we actually are able to use for our own liking. So now we actually have the main idea. So here you go. Now we have that. Now, of course, we're still not fully done because we're still having that bit. So with that said, we want to actually create the headpiece first. So which is a big giant, oh, come on, which is a big giant head. So and of course go up. No, it needs to be more. So what is it that I need to do? I need to go up right here. So I want to pick up the headpiece right here. So I want to actually create hair right here, that one. So that will look like that. So I need to make sure that I have the headpiece right here. But that headpiece needs to be going like so, and then go down like that. That means I need to make sure that this bit is like that. Then we need to go up with this. Up, 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 up. Then go down. Almost there. All right, so now we actually have something to work with. So I want to actually aim from here. I want to aim from this side to this side. So I actually have this bit right here. So we have 1, 2, 3 on that side. Hats, by the way, it's quite difficult sometimes to get it right. So I'm going to aim it from here to there. No. It is like so. Holy Jesus. Alright, that means I need to make sure that this is like smaller than. And then after that, I need to make sure that this bit is drawn in the back. Yes, there we go. Got it. Okay, then we're going to be making sure that this is again drawn in so that we actually have the right way. And now we're going to be adding also in the things that I want to draw in there as well. So now we're actually going to be able to get this bit drawn in. There you go. Just like that. Then we're going to go here. And then we're going to go here. We don't need to draw it. Well, we can technically draw it here as well. But we know that, it's not going to be happening. Especially since we have this bit right here. This bit right here needs to represent like that. And that side is already there. So, it's not going to be happening big time on that side. So we're now done with this bit. Now we need to draw this one. Then over here, draw this one, draw that one, draw this one. And now we're gonna be cooking hard because now we're almost at the point where we can say, all right, sure thing. Now we have a hat. Now we need to add stuff to the hat. Mainly because we actually want to represent, the old drawing as well. So let's first add in, the evil eye, like. So where do I want to add this? So I want to first go for this and make sure that this one also has, the evil. There you go. And then of course add in the thing that I want and then be like, that. Yeah, probably. We have, a very, a very silly old wizard, that's for sure. But it's not fully done. It's missing some bits here and there on the sideline. It's missing especially here on the top, but we're getting there. But first, we're going to be making sure that this thing is drawn in. So we need to go for this, that. No, that's too aggressive. No. Let's focus first on the other things instead before I do anything else. I think the big face is actually far more funnier to look at, and then just have this eye to be like, you know. Maybe not even add an eye. Just add this bit. No. All right, and then I'm gonna add here in the other bits. Oh god, I need to do this on a different layer. So that's gonna be like that, right? Yeah. Yeah, that would actually work. So now we have done that. Now we can actually get to the next bit and get that bit up and running. Now we actually have that. Now you can see there are some issues in there. One of the main issues is the shoulder length, which is incorrect. So with that said, time to fix that. So
we need to go here with the shoulder length. And we need to go here with the shoulder length, so. There we go. Even added a bit upwards, I think that's the best point here. So now we have that. Means that we can now deselect, go down with these things, then go up, then here with that one. That actually looks good. It is missing some bits here and there, but yes, it's looking good. Now, I think I like how I'm going with this, but I need to make sure that now I actually have some bits more here and there that I want to fix. So we have now the concept done for it, which is good. Most likely just, casual as drawing piece of shit, but it looks already a lot more better. It's not great, not gonna lie, but it gets the job done for trying to design things. So now we're gonna make it happen. So first things first, we want to make sure that we have that bit. So should I create, a full. Well, with that, and add, the big nose there. Now we have a full nose. We can even make it like, round if I want to. I think we should make it round. And now you can see that there are some issues here and there that are occurring, but we're getting there, So we want to make sure that that hairstyle is now properly done. So first we're going to be drawing the hairstyle so that we actually know how to draw it. So we need to draw the hairstyle from here. Because, we're going to be reusing that hat piece. So because of that, I actually want to create first the hairstyle properly. So first add like that. So let me just see how I did that. Oh, I did like that. All right, fine. So we did like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have a background if we want to go for it, which we can then use to create that bit. There we go. Then after that, we need to make sure that we have this bit done. It means that technically the eyes and the hairstyle are a little bit too close to each other, so I need to make sure that I have that fixed by repositioning this to. Do I need to reposition it, or do I need to make sure that I don't see this bit? I think that's the better point. So it's a perspective issue and not a thing, so we need to make sure that we do that properly then. So it's a perspective issue, so we need to make sure that we are drawing tinier on this end. There we go. Now we have done that. Now we can actually add in the last bit, which is then, of course, here. But that means that, we actually have an issue. mainly this, that. So technically, if you want to draw here, technically, it means that we technically need to move this bit upwards towards here, but we can't. And that's the main issue. So either draw the eyes tinier, or let's see where it is. I can move this bar right here upwards around here. So by moving that bar upwards, it does create some issues. Not gonna lie, it's quite annoying. So what it does create here is that we do not have, we have this, and then we can actually create that upper place there to create what I want. But it creates an issue that we're dealing with, of course, the eyebrows itself. So if we then, create now the hair, it is no longer touching everything, which is the main issue that we had before. So now we have this. And now we have that. So now we actually have, a face. That means that because of that, I think ear needs to be then like this. Yeah, ear needs to be like this. And then we need to now go here again and make this happen again. Now that we're done there, see, I can do, you can do so much with this. It is so fucking easy. So if I can make it even more powerful, like, that, making that like cool looking guy, and I'm like, yeah. So yeah, you can make so much happening with this. So now we have done that. We now actually have a face to look at that it's properly placed and all that stuff. So it is very fun to work with. Now we have done that. Now we can actually add in the eyebrow as well, which is here and here. So now we have a deep eyebrow as well with overlapping hair. And that hair needs to go like so. Yep. All right, So now that we have done that, we now need to make this headpiece move upwards, which is the main issue here. Oh boy, I'm gonna be afraid that this is gonna be hurting. All right. Easy. Nice. And then, of course, we're going to add in this bit right here. Now we actually have a face. What's the problem now? I see a problem occurring and it's quite annoying. It's the head, right? The head is not small enough. Well, hold up. So if we have the head right here, now we're gonna be just making sure that this thing is right. All right. So what is the issue? The issue is that this bit right here. Close. So, because of this, that could fix it. But holy shit, that is an old. But yes. Now we actually have something to work with. Let's see. So if we even go for this, if we even go for this, then we are gonna go make sure this bit is colored up. That bit is gonna be staying. That bit is gonna be staying. There you go. There we go. Now we actually have something to work with, and we actually have a good face. It's not the best, but it is a very squared out face. So it is, instead of a nice looking, it's a squared out face, that's for sure. So if you have it like that, so it is squared, but it is still workable to see the outlines on it. And it's hung over, so yes, technically it's an old one. Man, I suck at drawing people. It's still one of my worst things to do. So now the question is like, what do I want? Do I want this to be like, getting here and then having that one there, but then ruining the expression? I think this would actually work. Although, I'll say that. Yes. So if I now move it upwards, I will have this. And then I can actually remove this bit. So if I have that, I can actually get this bit up and running as well. Right, and then we're gonna go for this bit. There we go. So now we have something to work with. Man, I suck at drawing these things. But looks silly. Looks good enough, I think. It's a very different approach from this one. Definitely. Far more dastardly. You know, you can even make it like, giving it a toothpick, yeah, and then it even looks more dastardly than before. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go for that old-fashioned toothpick. Yeah, there you go. Dastardly toothpick. So yeah, you can actually go for that. I'm gonna add a toothpick in there because it's quite silly to go for. Yes, there you go. It actually works. All right, fine. No. I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, now we have that. We can actually go back here and just pick up the old-fashioned colors and then go forward with that. So first things first, we're gonna make sure that we have, the coloring done. And you can see there is a lot of less of stuff that we have to be worried about. Now let's see. Those things are both white, and that is white, right? Yeah, that's red. That's gonna be red. All right, fine. Now we have done that. Now we need to make sure that we actually have the right coloring there as well. So this drawing is not gonna be great. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, this. All right, so this bit here needs to be something like a line. Here needs to be a line. That's for sure. So I need to get here a line, here a line, here a line. All right. Now we have done the lining part. We have done the ear part. That should give us what I want here for. Oh god. So do I want to then actually add in that stupid line here? Why not? Why not? Alright, so now we actually went for that. We can actually go here, and now we're going to be going for that hairstyle. So we already know what kind of hair part we want to go for this. So let's add in that lovely little gray beard right there. There we go. Easy as that. Then we're gonna go here, fixing that bit up. Now, does this work? Probably yes, probably no. It depends, but then again, it is quite fun to do. It's also fun to do some redesigning anyway. Why not? And yeah, this is actually quite funny to see this dazzling thing. If you could see the first version of it, it is actually quite silly. Not gonna lie. So now we actually have, you know, Mr. Shady Man with lots of things like, you know, I can actually get this bit like that, and then, you know, add a nice little toothpick there as well. Just, you know, just in case, because, you know, it's very dastardly to do. There you go. A dastardly man. I'm just gonna keep it like that. Fuck it. I'm absolutely today. I'm absolutely just doing silly stuff right now. So now we have actually that. Now we need to get the lighter color in there, and then after that we're gonna go. Well, we're gonna be just following the same principles as always. One of the principles here is that we're aiming to get one line, and then after that we're gonna go for a lot. Then I'm gonna add in the shine to it. So we're gonna go here, 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 here. And the shine we're not going to add to the beard. That's stupid. So here we go. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. And there's only one downside why I'm doing the eyebrows at the same time, but yes. We need to follow the line work. So now we're going to be following this bit. Make that go like that. Make that go like that. That. And easy. There we go. So yeah, my main problem this week is hopefully getting the new PC installed properly, and then after that we're good to go. So with that said, we also have these things, but we don't follow them, so we don't draw those lines. We're only going to use the base hair part where things go. So technically this one has only that one, and here we don't have it. Neither do we have it here, so therefore we're not going to use it. All right, now we have done the main thing. Now we're going to be adding in the shine. So we're going to go here, and we're going to add in a nice little shine for the old man right there. And then we'll add a nice little shine again to it. Easy. Now that we've done that, we also need to add a darker color to it. So we're going to do that as well. And we're going to go back here. This darker color is representing the shading on it. And one of the bits that needs to be always darker is right around here, because we're having a shade on a hat. So we need to make sure that we have the hat represented. There we go. Making sure that we have some here near the beard. Easy. All right, now that we've done that, we can now actually go back here, making sure that that face is a little bit more lighted up. I even think I'm actually using the wrong color for this. But I doubt it, but well, let's see. I am using the right color for it. Alright, cool. Now we have done that, then we're going to be now going for the green. This is green, normal green, so this is a very aggressive green. So we're going to be going first for a slow green. So a very passive green, and then after that, we're going to add some more variety to it. So this is going to be the darker color part, and then we're going to be adding some more lighter color parts as well. Easy. And this is the best part about it, you can once you have the design done, you can just put it into the fucking thumbnails of Paint if you want to go for it. You can go it from here, then you can put it in the thumbnails of Paint, which is a pain in the ass to do. You can go here and you can add that design in here as well. And this is the best part about it. You can just do whatever you want with it. And also, once it's fully done, it does look a lot more better. Especially once you add the lighting on the eyes, then things are getting a lot more better than you think. Because as you can see here, there's a line effect. I actually forgot that part. Oopsie daisy. Don't mind me just doing that now. I definitely did not forget that. So there you go. Now I've fixed it. You will see it later. It's not yet needed, but it's a line that we're going to be fixing the eyes with. All right, so now we have this bit. And you can see that I drew, a texture on it. This texture is going to be on a separate layer because otherwise you're going to get ruined again with the green and all that stuff. So let me just casually drawing the green here. Casually drawing the green again. Making sure that I drew that bit on yellow. There you go. Now we draw the green. Now we're going to draw better green. So with that said, we're going to be now drawing a lighter green so that we actually have the effect that we have like here. But then, of course, a nice looking green. So we have a nice looking green here. We're gonna draw it right here one, and then we're gonna draw one here one, here one. So these are the one greens that I need. Sadly, such greens don't exist because we have a headpiece. So technically, this bit needs to exist, this bit needs to exist, this bit needs to exist, this bit needs to bit, but there, technically this needs to be in the, this bit needs to be in the opposite. So if I have this green, the light should not technically touch this bit. This bit should be darker. So now we're gonna add it in the dark. But the main problem with this is, of course, that the coloring on the green is terrible. So the dark green is not the greatest green to go for. So to fix that, we need to do something new. Which is drawing with dark green instead. And then we're going to add a normal color. So we know that we need to draw here, we need to draw links, and then this one, this bit needs to be lighter. So technically what we can do is actually first go for the lighter color. And There we go. Now we have the right
Easy.
all right, now that we have done that, we can actually go here with that same idea, and then of course adding in the things that we want to do. So now that we have actually created the drawing itself, so we actually created the drawing itself. So now that we created that, we can now actually add in the, well, the coloring on the red. So now we're going to go back to the expression of the wizard, which is red. So we'll just do that manually. There you go. Now we have done that part. Then we're going to go down with the bits. There you go. And then we're going to go back to the darker color. All right. Now we're going to add in the gold effect. So we're going to go here. Now we have done that part. We have done this part. All right. Now that we've done that, we've done this, and now we're going to go for that light on the green. So now we're going to go here. Right. Now that we've done that, we can now actually go back to this one. So now we're gonna make sure that the teeth are white. So if I remove this one. There you go. I will save this as chapter 1, the wizard. The portal event, fuck it. No, I'm gonna be typing wizard 2. Wizard 2. There you go. Easy. There you go. And now what I can do is actually go back to the drawings and then go here, and go to the wizard, pick up this one, and now we're gonna be able to get the colors that I want. So I want to go for, I know it's gonna be yellow, so we're gonna be, well, we're gonna go for orange. So we're gonna be drawing orange. With that said, I also need to make sure that I have the right colors for this. So we have orange, and then we need to go here with the eyes. Then we need to go add lighter color to it. Now we have a very dark orange, which is kind of sucks. So we need to go for a lighter version of it, of the approach. I believe, right? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go here, deal with that, deal with this. So now we have done that. Now we can actually add some more stuff. So I think maybe yellow would actually be quite funny to use here, especially that one. And then we're going to be aiming to go for the yellow here and the yellow here, I believe. Then we'll need to make sure that we have that blurred in, merged in. There you go. So this is how we're going to do it. Then we're going to be now aiming to get ourselves that expression that we want. So let's go for it and hopefully get to where I want to be with this. Nice. Alright, now that we have done that, we're gonna be saving this, and then we're gonna go for aiming for the headpiece. The headpiece is on top of it, so let's go with that. And then we're gonna be just casually picking up the colors that we left behind on this one. Because we can. Easy. And then with that said, it should be all fine, because then we actually have done a full redesign. Well, technically not a full redesign, but close to a full redesign of the character. That part needs to be very, very dark compared to the rest. So what is missing? That is always the question here. Like, you have already this. You already have that part of the wizard, and you can see that that is indeed a thing. I think we need to make sure that the eyebrow here, this eyebrow, is lowered. I think that is a very good choice, because by lowering the eyebrow here to here, so lowering the eyebrow to here, it fills up that gap that was left behind on the other one. So with that also, that means that we need to lower down this eyebrow to here, which means that we have some spare bits here laying around, as you can see. We now have this, and it looks a lot better than, of course, you know, the other version. So let's just get that up and running. Easy. And now I can actually get this bit to here. And there we go. And now we actually have a far more cleaner face, which is important sometimes, because otherwise you're gonna get very confusing very fast. So now we can actually get this bit like that. And now we have that. And now I can actually get this bit also cleaned up. Then we're gonna go in for this one and get ourselves some new color there, and a darker color underneath here. Easy. So with that said, we now have actually everything back to where we want to be, but now we have a far more cleaner head and for better expression part. All right, now that we have the head here, we are going to be now aiming to get first the lighter color in and then the darker color. This is different than the first try of it because, well, we don't need the darker color like, with this one because there's no shadow underneath. All right, then now we're going to go for the darker color. And that means that I need to now go here, and this one needs to be darker even. So I'm going to be doing that first. Now we have done that. Now we're going to go back to the normal dark color, which is just a nice little stroke. Easy. And now we're going to go here. Now we have done that. Now we can actually go back to where we want to be. So first things first, we need to go here to get that eye part done. With that said, I need to make sure that because of that, we have a very aggressive white. We don't want that. We want to go for a very basic one and then add the lighter color later down the line. So you have a far more better highlights on it. There. Now you have a far more better approach. Same goes for the teeth, which are technically just white. So we're just gonna do that instead. The white 1, white 2, white 3, and white 4. Now we're gonna go to the hardest part, which is the iron kind of part, which, this one right here. Technically, what I could do is technically add here a line to it. That would solve that issue. So now we have this iron line. Now we're going to add in a lighter approach, which is going to be here, here, and here, because we need to follow the lines of the shading instead of the shading of the product. But we can actually do some bit here and work, which we should, but a little bit more or less aggressive, please. Thank you. There you go. Now we have done that. Now we're going to go to the purple. You can see that this purple is way too purple, so we're going to go dyeing it down a little bit. The main issue here is that because of that, it is a bit more, it's a little bit too aggressive. And even this is aggressive, but then again, it's less aggressive, which is better. And then we're going to go add a little light right here. There you go. Now we have those things done. Now we're going to be adding in the yellowish approach here. So you can already see that is too smart. There you go. Is that part as well? No. Easy.
Now we have done that. Now we need to add some more stuff.
So, as you can see, we already have, a darker and a lighter pattern. We need to do that again. So we're going to be now going for some aggressive lighter. Which is going to be here. And which is going to be here. But since that we're using this kind of approach, we do want to make sure that we are still keeping up with the same idea. So we're going to be adding in a lighter effect on top of it to create the effect that we want. Now that we've done that, we now need to add in the last bits, which is, again, this one. Oh, really? It's not fully drawn in? Okay, well, glad I have the ability to do that. There you go. Boop. All right, then we're going to be going for the red. The red is going to be representing this bit. Man, it's way too dark. Holy shit, that's way too dark. All right. Go here. I just want this color red, please. Give me the red. There you go. There you go. And then we're going to be adding in the last bit, which is this bit right here, which we then be able to modify like that. All right. So now we actually have a headpiece which actually works. Now we have a headpiece and we have a nice looking drawing. Ta-da! It's a little bit too aggressive on the hair bottom part, so let me just get that fixed. It's not great, yeah, the line work is a little bit too thick, but then again, you cannot be choosers for this. But then again, the eyes actually look pretty good, so let me just get this done. So let me just erase this bit right here. So the main problem with this one, for instance, is that it is very thick line thick drawn. But if we're zooming out, you can see the difference, all right? You can see definitely the difference between, oh, wait, no, doesn't require. Fuck, I removed the wrong one. It happens, happens to most people anyway. All right, so we just removed all the progress on the head. Oh well. So what I wanted to show instead of that is when you look at this one, for instance, and you look at that one, it has almost the same line thickness, but the face is not the right line thickness.
So technically this is not the right line art that I use because I was zoomed in too much. So because I was zoomed in too much, it got to. So if I wanted to make this even better, I either need to make the face uh, bigger. So I need to make the face either, I need to make. Come on, can I do this? No, I cannot. Right? No. So either if I want to do this, let me just put this all into one group so that I don't get confused pretty much all the time. And then we can actually finish up the drawing so that I can show you what I mean here. It's not great, but it's a good start. It's a good start for what I did. It's just just a little bit of relaxing, trying to see if I can get this done. So as you can see here, for instance, the line thickness here is very gentle on done and over. Well, on this one it's very aggressive. It represents more of the line thickness that I did. Not in this one, but I believe, but in it's a far more aggressive line style because I used where is it? Where is the old fucking bastard? It's in the explosive chicken part, right? Yeah, probably it's in the explosive chicken part, so let me just find that. Speed drawings, no. Angry chicken, there it is. So, yeah, close, but where's the other one? Where's the other one? Oh, it's probably in the fucking stupid ass drawing right here. It's in the thumbnails of pain. So, I went with this, a thicker line drawing, which means that I misdrew the line thickness of the drawing by pressing too long on the pencil. It happens sometimes when you try to draw line work. So technically, if I want to draw this again, I need to draw it in a more gentle approach to not get that very aggressive thickness on it. You want to have the aggressive thickness on the drawing. Don't get me wrong. You want it on the drawing, on the body pieces, and on the hair outline. But you don't want to have it on the face, which happened here. It happens sometimes that you have such things happening. So let me just get this done so that we actually can move on to the next bit, which is then, of course, redrawing it again and then making it happening properly. AKA, we need to do this again. But, it happens sometimes when you try to draw something and it's like, yes, close, but not quite. So let me just grab this again so I have actually everything that I want from it. Sadly, it is not fully workable, but oh wait, I almost forgot. So yeah, I think the line work on the headpiece is actually correct. It's just that this outline is maybe it's the outline because of the background that it's not completed yet that is causing the issue. But I'm not sure about that. So let me just grab this and then go here, grab that. And then go here, grab this. And a darker approach.
It's always so difficult to get these things right. Really? You need to go this deep on the darker side to get it right? Ugh. I hate when I need to do that. There we go. And then we're now going for gray. So let's go with that. There we go. And then we're going to go for the darker green. So we're going to go for full dark green. On these ends. Then we're going to go lighter green. Easy. Now we're going to go for a yellow approach. There you go. Now with that said, we have now this what we want. So what we now need to do is, let's see. I need to have a zoom. Whoa. All right, hold on. I need to now get the original chapter 1 and then Lola, and I'm just grab this one. What I now need to do is making sure that this one is on 100% and then make this go to 100% as well. So now we can actually see. Yes. So the aggressiveness in the, because of the hair aggressiveness is the posture itself. This one is a way, this is like this, hold on. I'll show you what I mean here. So because we have Mr. I look like this, or we have just casual posture with, you know, the hands and feet like that. So the hands and feet like that. There you go. So we have literally a person that is actually an old person that is. Let's see. Oh, dearie. There you go. We have literally this. that is how the neck looks. It is bent over. It's bent forward. Technically, there is a head there. Technically, the head is there. The neck is here, and then the shoulders are there. But you know, it's a bent over person technically, which I don't mind. Technically, you need to move the headpiece over here. So technically, the headpiece needs to be moved upwards to fix the issue. Do I want to do that? No. I will keep it right now like this. So what we then can do, like, you know, if we really want to do it, like, you know, we can add backgrounds to it as well. We can actually implement the background that we had beforehand, which we can look up. Which is this, which is terrible. It's just meh. But what I can do, however, is adding a background. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be adding a nice little background for it. We're going to be aiming for this color. This color should be fine. To make sure that this one is out. So now we actually have, you know, yellow, but we don't want the yellow. We want to actually have this color. Come on, give me the color. There you go. Now you can see there are some mistakes in the drawing, which we definitely need to cleanse out before we start further. Mainly because otherwise you're going to get a lot of issues later down the line. And then the hairpiece. All right. There we go. Now we have actually everything that we want, except I spotted some yellow, which is an issue. This is why you always double check things. Easy. So now we have everything colored up, and now we can actually get towards the next bit. So we have this beautiful color right here, colored all over the place. And right now we're going to be making sure that we have something nice to look at. So we're going to make sure that we have a reflection, and then we're going to be aiming to go for this one right here. And a little bit more darker on the bottom side. There you go. And now we're going to be aiming to get some splash effects on it. So what I actually wanted to do or test out is if I can get this color with a stamp like, not the hard stamp. I want this color then. Then I want to add some more blur tool to it. Let's go for some blur effects. Then we're going to be adding in some nicer effect like that, and then we're going to be adding in some more darker approach like here, there, and such over here. Then we need to do the move tool effect so that we actually can get, oh, not the move tool, not the move tool, shoot, move tool, shoot. We can technically do it, but no. Now we have the baseline for it. All right, cool. Now we're going to be adding in line stripes. So what I want to do is actually go for this color right here, because as you can see, we have an issue with the green implementation. So because this green is overdoing things, so if you see the green here, that is the effect of it. So we don't want that. We want the opposite of green. So we want to have blue entering it, because if we have blue, it comes in front of it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to add blue stripes to this background. Then we're going to add in a nice little darker blue striping. Oh, come on. So now we actually have something to work with. So now we actually have this, which is a lot better. Now we can actually even implement that symbol that I am using. Yes. So now we can even implement the symbol. So let's do that. How do you do? Oh, that's what I did. All right, cool. So circle first. Circle. Then choo choo choo. Then we can even make them even cooler looking by giving them a granite effect. So let's do that. Red, orange, green. Then make it happen. And then, of course, adding some more yellow to it, because, well, clearly we needed to add more yellow to it. That looks cool. All right, then let's see if I add now a shadow to it. It should actually be also pretty fun to use around. And then, of course, lowering the amount of distance on it, and then for I'll make it 40% visible. Yes. Now we even have a far more basic approach. And you can see that there are some issues. One of the issues is quite an easy one to realize, which is the face on top of the lighting on top of the headpiece. The lighting on the beard is correct, or on the hair is correct, but on the beard is not. So we need to fix that, and we need to fix the lighting on the headpiece as well. But first, we're going to be fixing a little bit more. Well, fixing, I mean, we're just going to add some more colors to it, and then it should be fine. So let's see if I can do this. All right, now we have a wizard kind of approach. Now we're going to be fixing up the headpiece, and then it should be all fine. Yep. All right, so we need to fix up the headpiece lighting. So where is the problem then? Well, the problem lies is not very. It is very easy to fix. It is just adding here this line right here. So the issue was that there is a line that we didn't draw, which is this line right here, which needs to be drawn. Because of how that works, on how the headpiece worked. So now we actually have that headpiece there, and now it actually pushes forward. I think even that we don't want that, we actually want the other one, we want to actually have this soft drawing, the soft version of it. Now we done that, we also need to make sure that we draw the light, the darker color underneath. So let's do that as well. There you go. Now that is fixed, and now you can see that it is a much better one than before. We still need to fix up the thing, so I will do that. Just give me a second. There you go. Then the red. Now we fix that part. Easy. No, that's not the right red. I forgot. That's not the right red I'm using. I need to use this red instead. I don't want to use the other red, otherwise I'm gonna get screwed over. Why is this not working? I want to draw this red. There you go. Okay, now we have that done. Now we need to get that beard done. So the beard is also having a trouble because of how the lighting works on it. So we're just gonna add this to it and then should solve it. In perspective at least. Then, even if I want to do this, I can even get this bit drawn in bigger. So I will draw that. So we can actually go here and then draw here. The fun thing about this is, by the way, we can actually just grab it and then move it around. But yes. But yes, there you go. Now you actually have, a drawing in the same kind of style than beforehand. So there you go. But it's a far more aggressive style, this one. This is a far more... it's not fully perfect. Not gonna lie, there are some issues, errors there, here and there, mainly with the proportion. But then again, I'm not great at drawing humans. This is why I always went for. This is why I actually practice first the magical girls and get the concept done, and then after that, fixing that part. So, yeah. I think I will leave it here for now. It's not great, but it's a start. It's a good start to get towards where I want to be. We can use this as a baseline, and then push upwards. So make the proportions fixed, so have the head proportions done properly. But yeah. All right. So it's not going to be the final design of this one, but it's getting pretty close. If I know where I started from, I started from this, so it's a good start. We went from this to that, so we went from this to that. Well, technically from this to that, and then from that to this. So now we're actually going towards the so yeah, now we're actually working towards this one, which is then of course a lot more different because now it's a much more midget-like looking like. And what I need to do is technically I need to technically do this on the face. So I need to raise it up instead of, pushing it down. So, raising it up. But that doesn't work. So, you can also see that. But yeah.
but yeah, we're gonna be working on this later down the line. I'm gonna be saving it and saving it as a PNG file as well, just in case. So we actually have something to work with. So we can actually go here, and then we can go to the. I'm gonna place it here so that I actually know where I'm gonna look at. All right. I hope you'll return for now, and thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Until then, I want to wish you a lovely day, and bye.